Welcome to this very special episode of the Comedy of the Week podcast, all about Brexit and how it will affect the ordinary people of Britain. Sit back and relax as Matt Lucas and David Walliams present Little Brexit. Oh, I dare you.
Brexit, Brexit, Brexit. What be it? Who do they, and why? The people of Britain were asked whether they wanted to leave or remain, and every man, woman, and child voted to leave. The referendum has united this country like never before. Everyone loves Brexit. It's cool, it's fun, it's sexy. But how will Brexit affect the ordinary people of Britain? Sit back, relax, and enjoy the next 9 hours as we take a journey around Little Britain in Little Brexit. We begin our journey at a typical British school. It's assembly, and one of the star pupils is explaining to her fellow classmates exactly what Brexit is all about.
No, but shut up, because what happened was this whole thing happened what I didn't even know nothing about, because we was all in this really boring club called the European Union or something or nothing, which was set up so you could get cheap booze and fags on ferries. But I used to rob it anyway. I used to get a bottle of Malibu and a bottle of Cinzano and hide them down Destiny Wells' bra because everyone knows she's got no jugs, because one time she was getting off with Jaden Boyle round the back of Lidl and there was French kissing and everything, but you can't do French kissing no more because of the whole Brexit thing. And he put his hand up her jumper, and her baps were so small, he said it was like feeling a pair of jelly tots.
Thank you, Victoria. Can you stick to the subject, please?
I'm doing it! So what happened was there was this bloke called Dave who was literally like running the country or something or nothing. And when he was little, he went to Eton College, which is now probably called Eton Academy. And his BFF there was this other bloke called Joris Bonson. And they done all like posh things together, like croquet and punting and the biscuit game. But don't worry, it's not gay if you don't make eye contact. And then there was this other bloke called Nigel Frog, who started stirring it all up and started going around saying it would be better if there wasn't all these foreigners here, apart from my wife, who is German, she can stay. And Dave was literally like, fine, then I'm going to put it to the people. And then Joris Bonson didn't know whether he wanted to be in the Union or out of the Union. And he was like, no, but yeah, but no, but yeah.
And then, of course, we had the vote, didn't we?
All right, I'm getting there. God! And then we had the memorandum on whether to stay in or leave the Union. And leave won. And then the next day, everyone woke up and Googled, what is the EU?
Our next stop on our whirlwind tour around Brexit Britain is this charity shop in Herbie. Charity shops are where unwanted things can be found, such as clothes, books, and old ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry, would you be able to help me, please? I'm trying to get my friend's wheelchair through this door, and it's a bit of a kerfuffle.
Of course.
Here we go. Let's get it in there. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, young man.
Hello, old lady.
Thank you. Now, Andy, you remember I gave you £5 for your birthday?
Yeah, no.
And the wonderful thing about this place is, not only do you get a good bargain, you also get to help blind people.
I don't like them.
You don't like blind people?
They never let the dogs off the lead.
The dog is helping them.
And they never throw the dog their stick.
Well, the stick is... well, never mind. Now, what would you like to have? How about a music album? Michael Ball's greatest hit. You like Michael Ball's?
I love Michael Balls.
Let's get that then.
Don't like him.
It's hard to keep up.
Well, that one.
That one?
That one.
That is David Cameron's autobiography for the record.
Yeah, I know.
But I thought you didn't like David Cameron. I thought you said he called the European referendum with reckless abandon, only to appease the right-wing Eurosceptics in the Conservative Party, resulting in consigning this once great nation to a dystopian future of division and disharmony.
Yeah, I know.
And you added, his face looks like an on-the-turn slice of ham.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I'm sure you don't want to read his book then, do you?
That one.
Oh, fine. Hello, just the David Cameron autobiography then, please.
Certainly. That'll be 5 pence.
Lovely. Andy, we have £4.95 of your birthday money left over.
We do have boxes and boxes of the David Cameron book. We can't get rid of them. You could buy 100 copies if you like.
Let's do that then.
Andy, what would you want 100 copies of David Cameron's autobiography for?
We've run out of bog roll.
Beyond the British Isles is a place called Abroad, which is home to Johnny Foreigner. Abroad is too hot. They speak in tongues, and the food can be a bit spicy, which is why British people are advised never to go there.
Welcome to Sun Searchers, voted Britain's 103rd favourite travel agent. My name is Carol. How can I help you?
Hello, Carol. That was my mum's name. She passed away last year.
How can I help you?
I was just hoping to escape the winter weather for a week somewhere.
Where would you like to go?
Well, I don't actually...
Sorry, can you not interrupt me? I hadn't finished my sentence.
Sorry?
Where would you like to go to?
I was thinking somewhere warm. How about Spain?
Let me just type that in. Brexit says no.
What?
Brexit says no.
What do you mean?
Brexit, innit?
How about the south of France?
Brexit says no.
Seriously? How about Italy? Or can I not even go there?
No need to adopt that aggressive tone. I have a right to work here without being the victim of harassment.
Sorry. How about Italy?
Brexit says no.
You didn't even type that in.
Brexit says no.
Are you telling me because of Brexit I can't go on holiday anywhere in Europe?
You can, but I'd have to fill in an extra form, so no. How about going somewhere in Britain?
I don't think there's anywhere hot in Britain right now.
If you want to escape the cold, have you thought about putting on a coat?
This has been a complete and utter waste of time. In fact, do you have a complaint form?
Had a whole pile of them this morning. They've all gone.
In Britain, actors have agents who find them work, though some are better than others. The only work I've had this year from my agent is some so-called comedy sketch show on some barely listened to radio station for the elderly.
Dennis Waterman here to see you.
Ah, send him in.
Hello!
Dennis, dear heart, I'm glad you've popped into the office because I've had an offer in for you.
Oh.
The brave, new, bold, right-wing BBC are making a big-budget drama series about Brexit.
Oh, sounds very exciting.
It's called Britain Take a Bow. It's 10 two-hour episodes all about the heroes of Brexit. David Cameron is going to be played by Jimmy Nail.
Perfect casting.
Olivia Colman is Michael Gove.
Oh, she's very good.
Yeah, she's very good. She's also playing Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Why not? She's very good.
Oh, she's very good.
So, who do they want me to play?
Andrea Leadsom.
That's the best part.
That's the spirit, Dennis. She's dynamite. This is going to be huge. This is the job we've been waiting all these years for. As your agent, I would urge you to take it.
So they want me to star in it, write the theme tune, sing the theme tune?
No, Dennis, they just want you to be in it.
Minder, I done the theme tune. New Tricks, I done the theme tune. On the Up, I done the theme tune. Stay Lucky, I done the theme tune.
I know, but they were very clear this time, Dennis. In fact, they want it to be written into the contract, under no circumstances will you sing.
Who's doing the theme tune?
Well, I'm happy to say yes to the role if you are.
Who's doing the theme tune?
As Andrea, you will have some really meaty scenes.
Who's doing the theme tune?
Jimmy Nail. Are you all right, Dennis?
I've just got something in my eye, that's all.
This role could be a huge comeback, Dennis. BAFTAs, NTAs, maybe even a TV Quick Award. Look, I don't want you working in that burger place anymore.
I fell into a McFlurry yesterday.
Well, then.
Some people in Britain were a bit annoyed.
Dennis.
They wanted to be British and not European.
Dennis.
David Cameron had a good idea to have a vote on whether or not to be near to the European Union.
You want to lift to McDonald's?
Since Brexit, business in Britain is booming. Thanks to panic buying, sales of tinned food and medical supplies have gone through the roof. But what about the launch of new products? This aspiring inventor is trying his luck at Waddleton's games.
Mr. Waddleton, Matthew Waterhouse here to see you.
I don't have anything in my diary. Can you ask him to come back another day?
I done a board game I have done.
You really need to make an appointment.
Brexit the board game.
Will you please get out of my office?
This board is a map of Europe, and this pork pie is Britain. Roll the dice. You got a 3. Move your pork pie forward 3 places.
1, 2, 3.
You've landed on a hot spot. Pick a red card.
You have forgotten that Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom. You have to create a border in the middle of the sea. Move back 73 places. Well, there aren't 73 places.
Roll the dice. Oh, well done. You landed on a golden egg. Pick a green card.
Snickers changes its name back to Marathon. A hugely symbolic victory for the people of Britain. It has all been worth it. Move forward half a space. This square says second referendum.
Oh, let me consult the rule book. There is a second referendum, but everyone votes exactly the same as they did in the first one. Then there is a third, and a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, and then we jump straight to an 8th. Roll the dice.
This square says do a deal with the DUP.
Do not pass go until you pay them £1 billion. And don't marry a man they don't like that. Roll the dice.
The pork pie is falling apart.
Don't worry, we can still export it to America and save the British economy. Roll the dice.
No, I think I've heard enough. I want you to leave.
What?
I want you to leave right now.
No problem at all. Thank you so much for your time and goodbye.
Why are you still here?
I will leave in 3 years.
Few people in Britain have heard of a country called Wales. This is because it contributes little in the way of culture, save for the music of Aled Jones and Rob Brydon's ferry adverts. Nonetheless, the Welsh are a decent sort, and often gather together in pubs like this one, in the small mining village of Llandwy Brefi.
Another Bacardi and Coke, please, Mafanwy.
Coming right up.
Hello, my Fanwy.
Oh, hello, Farmer Llewellyn.
You don't have a spare cushion, do you? My Cloya McCoggian are playing up something rotten.
Your what?
My bum grapes.
Eh?
My piles.
David, let old Farmer Llewellyn have you a cushion, will you?
I'm sorry, but I need a cushion. I'm gay, you see. I have a very gay bottom.
The younger generation, no respect.
That's exactly the kind of homophobic attitude I've come to expect in this village.
There you go. 1 Bacardi and Coke. That'll be £4, please.
Are there any discounts for members of the LGBTQ plus minus divided by community?
No.
No? Do the Stonewall riots mean nothing to you?
I don't think they were fighting for discounts on Bacardi, David.
Well, you're lucky I don't start a riot myself, Mafanwe. But I can't, as I'm the only gay in the village.
I think you've mentioned that before. Have you been on that dating app I downloaded onto your phone yet? Grindr?
Oh, I went on it, but the nearest person was 1,000 miles away.
Really?
Yes, a little man in Austria called Gunther. He said he was the only gay in his village and didn't want to meet. And anyway, now that we're leaving the EU, I guess it's not meant to be.
I never actually asked you, David. Which way did you vote?
Leave.
How come?
Gays.
What do you mean?
Well, coming over here, Mafanwe. German gays turning up, waving their bratwurst. Spanish gays playing with their maracas. French gays asking if you want to go with them to the Louvre.
I voted to remain. You know, Wales gets a lot of subsidies from the EU.
I do know that because I got a grant for my group UKIP.
UKIP?
Yes, United Kingdom Institute for Puffs.
And you were the only member?
Correct.
Because you are the only gay in the village. Well, you don't need to be, David. Now, pass me your phone. Let me look at that Grindr app I downloaded and see if there's anyone closer to home. Oh, you didn't have it switched on.
No, Mafanwe.
David Thomas, do you want a bit of bum fun or not?
Mafanwe, I am not going to find love on an app.
Well, that's where I met Beth, Ann. On Muncher. Oh, you've got a message. Let's have a look.
No, I don't think so, Mafanwe.
Oh, it says the nearest gay is only 2 metres away. They must be in this pub. One another.
Oh no, the place is teeming with them. Help me, Mafanwe. Block, block, block.
Oh, look, there's even one from Farmer Llewellyn.
Farmer Llewellyn? You're gay?
Of course I am. How do you think I got these bum nuts?
Thanks to the extra £350 million a week that was promised to the NHS by the Leave campaign on the side of their bus, hospitals in Britain are doing better than ever. The only slight problem is that most doctors and nurses have had to return to their country of origin.
Where am I?
Maggie, you're in hospital. But don't panic. Everything's going to be all right.
What happened, Judy?
Well, we were at the church fete and you were judging the cake competition.
Was it won by an English person?
Yes, yes. You made quite sure of that.
Oh, good. So why am I in hospital?
Well, there's no easy way to say this, Maggie, but you had a heart attack.
Oh, goodness. How?
It was the moment you met the new vicar.
Well, how could that be?
Well, because his name...
Yes?
...is a baby Atonga. Nurse! Nurse, fetch the sick pan!
I'm so sorry. I seem to have projectile vomited all over you. How did I survive the shock?
Well, you were rushed here, and your heart had stopped.
No.
And the surgeon said you would die unless you had an emergency heart transplant.
My word. So where did the heart come from?
Well, anyway, I must be off. The heart came from a lady who was very sadly knocked down by a bus.
Oh, how tragic.
Yes, it was. Bye-bye.
What was she doing?
She was at a march. I really must be going.
A march for what?
A march for a second referendum. Bye!
You mean she was
Yes, Maggie. She was a Remainer. That went right up my nose.
Rip it out! I'd rather die than have the heart of a Remainer inside of me.
Don't be ridiculous, Maggie.
To think that inside of me is the heart of someone that believes that Britain must kneel before the Maastricht Treaty.
What is the Maastricht Treaty?
I have no idea, but it sounds foreign. Judy, I beg you, let me leave. It would be a kindness.
Very well. Where's that plug? Goodbye, Maggie.
Farewell.
It's going to save me a fortune on dry cleaning.
Scotland is a cold, rainy, mountainous region owned by England. There is one small hotel in Scotland, in case they ever have a visitor.
Yes?
Mr. McConey, it is Thomas from the kitchen. I need to speak with you.
Afore ye get to have my ear, I will the password need to hear.
Password. Is it hello?
Ye know too much. So how may I help ye, O Slavic one?
Sorry to bother you so early.
'Tis nae bother. I rise with the cock.
Well, I was talking to some of the other hotel workers about this Brexit. I love working here in Scotland, but if I have to go home, I need to make plans.
Never a plan make, never a drink take, never a garden rake, and never a cake bake, unless 'tis under the watchful eye of the sprite they call the Totsvig.
Please, do you know if I can keep job?
Maybe I do, and maybe I don't. Maybe I will, and maybe I won't. Maybe I shall, and maybe I shan't.
You do know that shan't is not the word.
Yes.
Look, please, all workers at hotel are from Eastern Europe, and we really need to know, after Brexit, will we still be allowed to work here?
Oh, God, I hope so. You're a lot cheaper than the locals.
Since Brexit, new subjects have been introduced to the university syllabus. You can now get a degree in British history, British maths, and British French. At this university in north, south, east, west of Britain, this student councillor is meeting with one of the freshers.
Come in.
Hello, Linda.
Owen, take a seat. How can I help you?
Well, it looks like I'm going to miss the deadline tomorrow on my gender studies dissertation.
Yes, and what's the reason for the delay?
Well, I've been out there protesting against Brexit.
Okay. Let me see what I can do. Hello, Martina. It's Linda.
Oh, I thought he was called Martin.
They're now gender fluid.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know.
Try and be a little more sensitive.
Sorry.
Martina, I've got a student here who would like an extended deadline on their dissertation. Owen Owens. Thinks he knows better than 17.4 million people. Doesn't believe in democracy. Quite simply, is against the will of the people. That's right, the evil traitor. Martina said no, sorry, and also, why don't you go and join ISIS?
10 Downing Street has been home to every British Prime Minister since 400 BC. This morning, despite the late hour, the Prime Minister is still lying in bed.
Oh, Sebastian.
Yes, Prime Minister.
That was beautiful. I had no idea it could be so magical with a man.
I didn't even know I was gay.
Are you crying, Sebastian?
I always cry afterwards, but they're happy tears.
Could you pass me a tissue, please? In fact, make it 2.
I think you'll need 3, Prime Minister.
Well, let's do it all again. But this time you be Big Spoon.
But don't you have to go, Prime Minister? What about Brexit?
Oh, I know. 52% of people voted for it, but we, the liberal elite, said no. So I've decided we're not going to leave.
We're going to remain?
Yes, and I would like you to remain here with me forever.
Yes, Prime Minister. Yes.
Sebastian. Huh? Daydreaming again.
Sorry, Boris.
Sit up, man.
Yes, Boris.
Prime Minister. You're always miles away in the middle of briefings. What on earth are you thinking of?
If you must know, I was thinking about an ex.
What are you, some kind of adolescent schoolgirl? It's hardly the time to be dreaming about an ex.
If you must know, I was dreaming about an ex-Prime Minister.
Oh, not him again.
Yeah, him again. Deal with it.
That man was a total and utter disaster for this country.
How dare you? People loved him. He won 3 elections. You haven't even won 1. How did you even become Prime Minister?
Well, we asked a handful of old white men who live in Tunbridge Wells who should be Prime Minister, and they said me. So that's that. Now get back to work right now. I'm about to prorogue Parliament.
Oh, I wouldn't prorogue you if you were the last man on earth.
I haven't got time for your nonsense today, Sebastian. We've got to get Brexit done.
I don't care whether it's soft or hard. I ain't interested.
Excuse me?
And as for your backstop, I wouldn't go near it, dear.
I've heard quite enough, Sebastian.
Whatever. Talk to the hand, because the face ain't listening.
You're fired.
I resign.
Well, I just fired you.
Well, I resigned first.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Did, infinity and no returns.
Just leave.
Don't you worry, I'm off. And just so you know, every time you and I made love, I was always thinking about him.
So we conclude our tour of Brexit Britain. The country is now closed. Please don't call again. We're perfectly happy, thank you very much, sitting here in our own excrement until the end of time. Goodbye.
I can't believe we're leaving the EU. That Donald Tusk is gorgeous. Don't get me started on Jean-Claude Juncker. He can Junker me whenever he likes. He's gorgeous.
Little Brexit was written and performed by Matt Lucas and David Walliams. Also appearing were Tom Baker, Anthony Head, Ruth Jones, Samantha Power, and Paul Putner. Music was by David Arnold. Little Brexit was produced by Ashley Blaker and was a Pozzitive and Little Britain production for BBC Radio 4.
Here's a question. A man escapes from one of the world's most brutal dictatorships. He's risked everything to do it. But once he's free, he digs a hole and he tunnels straight back in again. Why? I'm Helena Merriman, and over the past 6 months, I've been investigating an extraordinary escape story for BBC Radio 4. A story involving a tunnel, a spy, and an American TV network. To subscribe, search for Intrigue, Tunnel 29 on BBC Sounds.